Welcome, everybody, to Longbourn Literary Society's Society Papers Broadcast, episode 66. I'm Zoe Burton, and I'm here with Leenie Brown. And today we're going to talk about our ultimate goal as writers. But first, I have some quotes that I'll share, and then we'll share our news. And then we'll have our chat, me and Leenie, and then I'll have some news for you. I wonder if I can, this thing popped up, open a new tab. Did I go away? No.
No, you're still there.
Okay. So here's what I'm going to do. Let me share these quotes. They're quotes related to our topic. Screen share application window. The first one is share. It says, set your goals high and don't stop till you get there. And it's a quote from Bo Jackson. I am not sure exactly. I think he's a baseball player or something. Now I'm trying to open this up on my phone. Where did Google stuff go on my phone? Apparently there it is. I was going to say, apparently my brain is not well enough able today. Oh, I can't see it. So I just assume everybody can. Can you see it, Leenie?
I was just going to look, but being private, probably not.
Okay. All right. Well, then what I'll do is let me stop sharing for just a moment. And there's another one. I'm not sure how this works.
Yeah, if I look at the right screen, I could see it. Duh.
Okay. Well, there's another one. So I will share again. You'll have that. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Okay. What you get by achieving your goals is not as important as what you become by achieving your goals. Maybe I should have put become in big letters, but I didn't. So, and that's Zig Ziglar.
That's a good one.
That was a good one. I like that one especially.
Yeah.
All right. So now we're back. And since I was yakking, I guess I will continue to yak. So my news, I don't have it written down. There's not much. Today, it's not so far been a productive week. And today is not shaping up very well. But the grass is mowed. Okay. The whole yard is mowed. So, in case you haven't already heard, maybe you didn't see one of the last two broadcasts, or you've not been to one of my Burton's Babes videos, live chats, but I took my Promises series. I Promise To and Promises Kept, and I took the 2-book bundle for that series called Promises, and I took my 3-book Darcy Marriage series, each individual book, and the bundle for that series. I put them all in Kindle Unlimited, and I have a 5-book bundle that has all 5 individual books. It has I Promise To, Promises Kept, Darcy's Wife Search, Lady Catherine Impedes, and Caroline's Censure, all in one volume. All these books are currently in Kindle Unlimited, which means they're not available anywhere. They're not available on Kobo or Nook or anything for now. They come the end of September, when everything's out of Kindle Unlimited, then I'll make them wide again. Everything will be wide again. But for now, they're in Kindle Unlimited. As far as writing, I did, over the last 2 days, manage to get most of a chapter written in Darcy's Predicament, which is my Thursday story. So my goal today is 500 words. Yesterday, that was my goal, and I managed to almost double that. The blog post for this week, that's all the ones that I had already scheduled. So tomorrow I'll be working on blog posts again, but it's okay. I got ideas for the Wednesday posts, and I've gotten some compliments on my post from yesterday, my Writer's Journal post yesterday. So if you think about it, it's called Biting My Tongue is the title, because I do that a lot. And tomorrow, well, on Friday, which is the 28th, at probably about 8 o'clock at night, I'm going to have another chat on my Burton's Babes, in my Burton's Babes group, and I'll do it via my phone, which is, it drains the battery, but whatever, works on Facebook. And you know what, Leenie, it occurs to me as I'm talking, we should say that we re-recorded this early.
Yes, I was thinking that.
If we're stumbling around saying tomorrow I'm going to be, that's because it's actually Thursday afternoon. We are going to try to pre-record some of our Longbourn Literary Society videos.
Yeah.
Like we're taking a hiatus after today or after this week, but we're looking into how to pre-record some, because sometimes we like to do things on Saturday. You know, and two of us, not me, but two people of the group have husbands who like to do things on Saturday. There's just me here, and Jasper couldn't care less. You know, dog couldn't care less what we do as long as he gets fed and he is entertained. So anyway, that's all my news. That's the sum total of my week. So I will turn it over to you.
All right. See, do you have to click on me to make me big, or I don't know how this works when I can't see what's going on in YouTube.
Nope. You should be the only person they're seeing.
Okay.
It's the only person. You're the only person I'm seeing.
Okay. All right. Well, I don't have a ton of news for you today because I've been working on some projects, but let's see how much it ends up being. Maybe there's more here than I thought. I've been working on getting my Dash of Darcy and Companions collection, all new numbering on them on Amazon because I discontinued a couple of the duos, well, all of the duos, and I wanted to make sure that the numbers, you know, didn't have big gaps in numbers or anything like that. And I've been putting some new back matter in a few of them so that they have updated contact information and books available and that sort of thing. And while I've been doing that, I've been trying to straighten out the description on the print books, because no longer does it work to put your print blurb in and then go to Author Central and fix it like I'd done on every single book. No, all of that I did is now useless because you have to use some HTML code when you're actually putting it into Amazon KDP now. So I have to go through over the summer. I should get all of those straightened out. I mean, it doesn't take too long to do, but it's a bit of a pain. That's all.
Yeah.
So I've been doing that. And today, I think everything is all numbered. I just have 3 more books that need to have the print description figured out. And then that set of books will be done. And then I'll pick another series and work through the series so that I can kind of keep track of which ones are getting done and which ones still need to be done. Otherwise, you know, I'll get confused. It happens frequently with that. It doesn't take much to confuse me some days. Most days.
Yeah.
I have done some writing. I plan to do some more writing today. Today's supposed to be my Lydia, Persuading Miss Mary day.
Yay.
So I should be writing another chapter of that today, hopefully. I managed to get like 800 words of a new story started on Monday. I was hoping to get more of it written yesterday, but then my son has been planning for a game or downloadable content or something that's coming out tomorrow. Like, he asked me a month ago if I was going to the grocery store so that he could get food. Like, he's like, well, let's wait a little bit. So yesterday I took him to the store so that he didn't want to get all junk, like all frozen stuff that you could just put in the microwave. So today I was just helping him. He had gotten ingredients to make chicken parmesan. So that's what he was making. And then he'll put that away. Because I paid for part of it, I get to feed my husband and my son with part of it, my other son with part of it too. I can't eat it because there's cheese in it and stuff. But but he'll still have some there that he'll be able to eat. Of course, then he had to get some Coke because he couldn't figure out what he could drink that wouldn't have a lot of sugar in it and that would still, give him some energy.
Right.
So he wasn't happy about that, but that's what he got. So we
He could
did
get
that.
Coke Zero.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd almost rather that he drank sugar than chemicals.
That's true. That's a good point.
I mean, they're both not good for you, but
Right.
at least one's natural.
Yeah,
I
that's
guess.
true.
Yeah, and he'll probably be pretty good about not drinking too much of it because it does make his eczema worse. So it's uncomfortable to be itchy.
Yep.
And so that kind of cut down on what I got to do yesterday. So I only got to write a chapter of his or her secret bow. So that got done. And I have been working on getting Loving Lydia, the last read of it, done. I have 2 chapters that have to be read today. And then I need to write a blurb, which who knows how long that could take, because sometimes it'll go really quickly and sometimes it'll take hours to get it figured out how to best word what the story is in very few words is not always easy to do.
Mm-hmm.
And in a way that would make readers go, oh, yeah, maybe I want to check that out.
Yeah.
So I have to do that. And then hopefully by the time this goes out on Saturday, that book will be up on pre-order on Amazon and Kobo. And I will probably just hit the publish button on Draft to Digital for all my other stores because they require 10 days. Pre-order has to be 10 days long minimum. And I don't have 10 days that I want it to be on pre-order. I don't think. I'll have to count to make sure, but I don't think I have that long. So I'll probably hit the print. So it'll show up on Nook and iBook fairly quickly or Apple Book fairly quickly. And then, a week or 2 after it's actually been published everywhere, it'll probably show up on some of the smaller ones over in Europe, and because those take longer to get set up and transferred and all that. So that's what's going on with Loving Lydia. So that is coming very soon, and hopefully everyone will be around to pick up their copies of it because I know there are people that are waiting for it to come out. I still have to remove it from Patreon, which is on my list of things to do today or tomorrow. Not removing it, I'm putting it behind the paywall. It's not in Kindle Unlimited, but the ones that have not been on Kindle Unlimited are the ones that Amazon has said, oh, we can't publish this until.
See, that's so odd.
Yeah, Amazon.
I mean, mine, they are, and mine are all on my website, or
Yeah, I've already removed it from my website. I did that already, but I forgot that I needed to put it all behind the paywall on Patreon until last night.
Yeah.
So I have to work on that.
Amazon's
so I've got those blog stories that are going on. They're both chapter 3 this week. Chapter 3 just published today for Persuading Miss Mary because this is Thursday. And in that chapter, we get to see a little bit more about Lord Westonbury, and what he's kind of thinking. And we meet his friend, Lorcan Langley, who is going to play a role in the story as well. Whether he knows it or not, he is going to be instrumental. And then my husband is starting his summer schedule. He does cleaning at a school. So kids are out of school. I think today was their last day, or maybe it's tomorrow. They just have to go in and pick up report cards. Basically, it's a couple hours that they go in for. So he had to start working days today, and they go through the school, starting on the 3rd floor, and they'll work their way down the whole floor, all the floors, cleaning, stripping and waxing, doing windows, all the things that you can't necessarily do when school is in session. Right. So they'll be doing that during the days, and there's no air conditioning, so it gets a little hot and sticky, a little nasty when they have to do it. But he's also wanting to do more things on Saturdays during July. He wants to do some things during the summer because his schedule is slightly different. So that's one reason why we're going on hiatus, just because, well, it's summer. A lot of people
Yeah.
are out and about and doing, you know, if you're doing something in the summer, you should let us know if you have any exciting plans. I don't have anything exciting planned, although I did see this morning, let's see, I'm rambling on. I did see in an email this morning from one of the museums that they have some Thursday night things where they have behind the scenes tours. And I'm
Cool.
hoping that maybe that means I can go behind the ropes and see, you know, the rooms from different angles. It's a house that was built in 1816. So
Cool.
it's a Regency era place. And then Monday is Canada Day here in Canada. July 1st, 1867 is
Wow.
when Canada
Y'all were
became
babies.
its own nation, or was granted responsible rule. We were still, you know, part of the Commonwealth. We still are part of the Commonwealth, but we were given control over our government pretty much. So I might watch. There's a movie that I like to watch. I watched it um, as part of a social studies class when I was teaching Canadian history, and this era that I taught was like from 1834 to 1867. So that little chunk of time there when it was becoming a nation, and it's called John A. Birth of a Country. He was the first prime minister, and it's a well done period movie, but it was done by the CBC, so I don't know, you know, where you can find it. I know I can watch it on the CBC site up here for free, but I don't know, you know, in the US or other places where you'd be able to find that. The two stars are Sean Doyle and Peter Outerbridge. Peter Outerbridge, I think, has been in several things. I'm not sure about Sean Doyle, if he's been in a lot of things or not, but they're very good actors. And Sean Doyle plays Sir John A. Macdonald, and Peter Outerbridge plays George Brown, who is Scottish, and he's the liberal, and John A. is the Macdonald is the conservative, and they just totally hate each other. And George Brown has a paper and prints horrible stories about John. I mean, it is said that if they saw each other on the street, one would cross to the other side of the street so that they wouldn't even have to pass each other. Like they
Wow.
really, really did not like each other.
That's
But in
funny.
order for them to get through an impasse, because the government kept changing hands because of non-confidence votes and things, they actually had to work together. So it's an interesting little bit of history. It's well done. It gives you a little look at, you know, Victorian era too, which is always fun. And I think that's all my news, because I don't know what we're doing on Canada Day, because usually my husband likes to do something, barbecue or whatever, but he hasn't told me, but that's not unusual. It's, you
Yeah.
know, still a few days away.
Right.
So we'll see.
That's what, next Monday.
It is. It's Monday. So, and then July 4th is coming up next week too.
Yes, it is. No, Thursday.
Yeah, Thursday.
Yeah,
Oh, next week I have an Austin Authors Post on Tuesday.
that's right. You
That's
do.
right. I've got to get that scheduled before then. I have it written. I just don't have it scheduled.
Is it the one that I read just the other day?
No, it's one that well, did I share both of them with you recently?
You probably shared it with me a couple of weeks
I
ago.
wrote one yesterday that I'm not using yet.
Okay.
So not that one. This one will be about shifting points of view, because I shift a point of view in Loving Lydia. So
Yeah, I
it's
think I
talking
remember
about
reading
that.
that.
Yeah.
It would have been a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. Yeah, it was last week. I think I wrote it last week. So that's it for me.
All right. Well, our topic today was our ultimate goal as writers. And as always, my answer is very short. Basically, my ultimate goal as a writer, and I, you know, and I didn't think real deeply about this. My ultimate goal as a writer is to entertain people. And if I can give them some hope or some um, I don't want to say teach a lesson, but give them some insight into something, some Oh, we should click this on me, right? So they can see me.
That would be a good idea.
That'd be a good idea. Anyway, my goal is to basically to entertain. But if I can give them hope, my readers hope for something, or inspire them, or show them something. Sometimes some of my books have ended up having lessons in them. I don't ever make that a goal. I don't sit down and say, I want to teach about forgiveness. No, I don't do that. Sometimes it comes through, but my ultimate goal is to entertain. Now, then we get into other goals are, to make enough money to pay the bills and go out to eat once in a while and, buy another truck.
Yeah.
Things like that, buy some clothes. Or my undies all holy. Stuff like that's important. So I do have those goals, but my basically I want to entertain. I want to give people an escape for just a few minutes, an hour, 2, 3 hours. Some of my books take like 3 or 4 hours to read me, and I read fast. So that's my ultimate goal as a writer, is to entertain people. And I know that there are people out there who think that, who kind of act like or seem to feel that, you should be writing the great American novel every time. And that's not my goal. My goal is I think I write pretty good. Clearly my grammar needs help. But I think I'm a pretty good writer. And I think that I tell a pretty good story. But my goal is not to be famous. It's not to make the New York Times bestseller list. It's to entertain, to give people an escape, give them some hope or whatever. That's my goal.
While keeping a roof over your head.
While keeping a roof over my head and decent undies on my butt.
There you go. Really big goals there. Some people want to travel the world. Nope. Yeah. Just want some new underwear.
That would be me.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, I was thinking about this, and well, I didn't look at the question until this morning because I was, so well prepared this week. I was like, oh, it's Thursday. I actually thought it was Wednesday this morning until I saw that the Career Author podcast was also on my Stitcher list. And I was like, wait a minute, did they publish it early? No, it's actually Thursday. Yeah, so I don't really know what day of the week it is. And now we're doing a live on a Thursday that's usually on a Saturday. Yes. I am going to be so messed up for the rest of the week. More than normal. Anyway, I was thinking about this and I was thinking I don't have any high and lofty goals that I wouldn't call them, huge aspirations. Like you said, I don't necessarily care if I'm famous. I would like to be remembered. I would like to leave something behind that would, outlive me and not just, fade away.
I would like to have, I don't want to be famous. I don't need to be famous, but I would like to have my books remain popular enough to give when I pass, because my oldest niece and her son are my heirs. Well, my oldest niece, but I would like to at least leave enough income for them, whether it's continual income from my books or if it's just that I've saved that much. I'd like to leave them a little something to help them get along, because she's a single mom. Yeah. And so I'd like to leave a little bit of a legacy.
Yeah. I mean, I'd like to leave that for my kids too, that, they can earn a little money off their mom's crazy writing, as, they tend to think of it. And so, there's that. You kind of want to be remembered. I mean, I remember when I was little, like I've always wanted to be a writer. I just never thought it would happen. But I did in like grade 3 or 4. I used to keep everything and sign and date it, and I would stick it in my cupboard
Cool.
because, you know, when I was dead and people finally found out that I had written things, they might want to know things about me. So that's why I was keeping it all.
Wow.
I've since gotten rid of it, but you know, that was my thing when I was little. You were only an author and well known if you were dead.
Yeah.
I guess because Louisa May Alcott was dead, and so was Laura Ingalls Wilder, but Beverly Cleary wasn't. I still liked her. I don't know. I don't try to understand how my brain works. It's a little scary. So, I mean, there is that. You'd kind of like that. Yeah, sure. It'd be really nice to have that bestseller, you know, USA Today bestseller tag or whatever after your name, but it's not something I'm chasing.
Right.
You know, if it happens, it happens. If there's an opportunity to make it happen, then maybe I'll take it, but it's not really a goal that I want. Like you said, I want to write things that would entertain. I have an ability, not necessarily the best ability, not necessarily the worst ability to write stories that God has given me, and I feel that I have a responsibility to God to use that
to share it.
and share it, because I don't know how my stories can be used to bless someone else. And really, that's kind of what I want to do, is just kind of be a blessing, a means of escape, write things, for the most part at least, that are things that Christians could feel good reading, but aren't necessarily Christian books. They would have Christian principles in them, just because my belief system tends to come through in my writing. Like you said about forgiveness, I don't set out to write a book about forgiveness, but forgiveness might be one of the themes that ends up being in there. So I guess it's just to be a good steward of the ability that I've been given, and to use it in a way that would honor God, that would provide entertainment for people, that would leave something good in the world, that would show healthy relationships, and that would really focus on what love is, more than just what romance is, but what love is. You know, the self-giving, the self-sacrificing, the putting someone before you, and that sort of, you know, deep love, not just lust, which is also fun to put in there, but and part of it. But yeah, so nothing high and lofty other than to just continue writing. I just want to continue writing, and in order to do that, you do have to think about money. So I want to be able to publish and earn enough so that I can keep writing. There are some, you know, financial goals that I would have. It would be nice that my husband didn't have to work so much. It would be nice if I could, you know, maybe one day before I die, actually see England, you know, not just on my computer screen, but in real life, or Scotland or Ireland. I'd go to all three. That'd be fun. I told my husband when we go, we'll probably need like 3 months just so I can see everything that I want to see, and then we'll have to go back. But yeah, so it's just to use what I have and to do it the best that I can. Like you said, it's putting out the best work that you can at the time. I'm not trying to create perfection. Okay, I might be a little bit, because I have that tendency. It's like, oh, it's not good enough, I need to fix that. But no, I have to give that up. I put out the best book that I can at that time, and to always be improving, continually be improving, continually learning and growing and all that. So I think that's it. I think I answered it. Did I answer it okay? Did I get full points?
You answered it great. You did a good job.
Good.
We both had brief answers.
We did. We did.
So this might be a short video.
It could be.
I don't even know what time we started. It's going on 2. So
Yeah, I don't know either. It was later than we planned because I was making sure that the kitchen wasn't burning down or anything. No, he did very well. I just wanted to be there when he was using the hot oil, just in case there was any sort of thing that would go wrong. Yeah, or question or that sort of thing. Oh, there is one other thing that I guess I kind of do. I don't really think about it, but I like writing short, like novellas and short stories.
Mm-hmm.
And I do think that one of my goals has been, and probably still is, to prove that it can be done well.
True.
Yeah, you don't have to have 500 pages to tell a good story. It's been done in the past. The Christmas Carol is a very good story. It's a novella. It's not 500 pages.
Yes, imagine that.
Yeah, but there is always that, it's short, it can't be any good, that I've always based.
I won't buy it because it's not 500 pages. It's not 250 pages. I won't buy it.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, then. If it is over 300 pages, I usually don't buy it.
Yeah.
I mean, I might check it out from a library.
I don't actually look at page numbers,
and see if I want to read it. Like if it's over a certain number of chapters or if it's over a certain number of pages. And the reason isn't because I don't think it's going to be a good story. I'm sure it's a great story. It's just I don't always have time to read it. And I'm not one of those people that can just leave something and then come back to it. I have to get through it. So, yeah. I did start reading a story this week. It was a novella. I've almost finished it. I only have like the first 4 chapters left to read. I've read the rest of it in reverse order. I started at the end and worked my way forward. And it's one of those that I'm enjoying enough that, I would want to go back and read it all the way through. But I am enjoying so much just going back. It's like, oh, how did we get there? So I get a little bit more. And it's like, oh, well, how did we get there? Yeah, I'm strange that way. But it's a good little book. Who's it by? I want to say Donna Hatch.
Okay.
Matchmaker Game or something like that. Okay. It's a cute little. I'll put it on BookBub. I'll give it a rating on BookBub. Probably a 4.
Okay.
Maybe a 5. We'll see.
I have discovered here lately that I can tell the difference. Like I've gotten so used to reading shorter books.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a couple, I've been in a kind of a reading binge the last few days. And I have discovered that I'm starting to notice when a book goes longer, like I kind of internally know when if this is a short book, it should end soon, and then it ends up going on. But I can put it down and come back to it.
Yeah, I can.
But the last 3 books I've tried, and because I said I'm not reading today. Yesterday, that's what I said. Not doing it, and so I can write. But then it just the night before I had finished a book, but it's to the point now where I need to write because every book I pick up, I get so far and they do something stupid. Okay, I can't read this. And so, I mean, they start out with such promise and then something stupid happens.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But I am starting to notice, a couple of them I was like, oh my gosh, am I not to the end yet? Because I should be at the end. And I'm like 30%. And I was like, oh, this is a long book. I'm not used to that anymore. Yeah. A lot of people in regular Regency and other genres who write short books. Mm-hmm. And it's not such a big deal. So unless you're only reading Jaff, you might be used to reading short books. Yeah. Of course, all I read is romance, too. I don't read women's fiction, and I don't read
cozy mysteries.
I don't read cozy mysteries, and I don't read fantasy, and and science fiction and all that.
Yeah, I don't really either.
They don't draw me like
Yeah.
romance does. So
I've always enjoyed romance since I was little.
yeah, I always have. And I mean, I used to read far more. I read Roots like 3 times.
Oh yeah.
You know, I read everything. I read nonfiction. I read fiction. I read biographies and autobiographies, and
I didn't.
I
mean,
read everything. But romance has always been what really draws me.
I did read some mysteries when I was young, you know, all the Nancy Drew, all the Hardy Boys, Encyclopedia Brown, loved those things. But then again, I liked Nancy Drew and the Hardy Boys because they had boyfriends and girlfriends. And I really liked that part. So it was almost always some sort of romantic relationship in there that I wanted to find out about. So it's no wonder that I rate it.
Right.
Yeah.
I've read a few Nancy Drew. I've never read a Hardy Boys, and it never occurred to me. Of course, we lived in the country, and it was hard to get my parents to take, because my mom didn't drive, and it was hard to get Dad to spend the gas to take us to the library.
Yeah.
So we could do the bookmobile.
Right.
When we do the school library during the school year.
Right.
But it never occurred to me to sit and read all the Nancy Drew books.
I did.
But then I think, isn't there a sequel to, it's called Joe's Boys.
Oh yeah.
And I think there's more than one Anne of Green Gables book, and I think I only read the one. So I didn't know if I didn't know about sequels, or I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway. So do we have anything else we want to say?
I don't know that we do. It's just that we aren't going to be doing these, at least for the summer, at least July and probably August. There won't be a regular Saturday video. We may, towards the end of the summer, in August, we may start putting some up, and we're going to try playing around with how to pre-record and set them up beforehand and things. So keep an eye on our Longbourn Literary Society group on Facebook. And for myself, you can always check out my blog too, because Mondays I give updates on what's going on in my life, writing life, and I post these videos on Saturdays on there, and that's LeenieBrown.com, which I'll put a link to it in the show notes, which we haven't done yet because we're pre-recording it, so I'll have to make sure we get those in there.
We do. I don't want to give them to tomorrow night and go to schedule it, and then, oh my gosh.
Yeah, exactly. So.
All right. All right. Well, what I'll do then is I'll close this out.
Okay.
Before we go, I want to call your attention to a few things below the video. If you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, you can do so by clicking the bell icon below the video. By subscribing, you'll get a notice every time I go live or I post a video of some sort. Then in the show notes, there's links to our websites and any books or other things we mentioned in the video. And that's just below our name and where the bell is. If you heard something that you'd like to learn more about, then you can find a link, probably find a link down there for it. So I
and
just
there
want
are, and you can, sorry. And you can leave comments on a video that has already posted. There's a place to do that on YouTube, and you, because you're the one in charge of it this week, you would get the Zoe would get the notification about that. So
that's a good point. I would have forgotten that.
Yeah, I didn't think of that until you were talking. I was like, wait, this is different this week. Yeah.
All right. Well, we hope you guys enjoy your summer, and I guess we'll see you in the fall sometime. So have a good summer, and we'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye.